Warning: the following contains opinions that you might not agree with. It may also contain too much positivity that you might not be able to handle, but in all seriousness, viewer discretion is advised for the following program. Hello and welcome back to the Admin Time podcast with your hosts, Jones Chua and...
Sammy. Hi
Hey
guys.
Sam, how is it going, man?
It looks like we're under the weather.
Yeah.
I can tell from our voices. I guess I've been battling with flu these days. Because the weather here is super hot and it just keeps on. It's very unpredictable.
Yeah.
At my end. How about yours?
Yeah, I think in Singapore, because I've been away for like past 3 or 4 days in Malaysia. Then my mother tell me it didn't rain at all. Then yesterday I think it only light rain at night. But other than that, it's been damn hot. I also feel under the weather, yeah. I feel like I get COVID again. You know the scratchy throat.
Did you actually had COVID before?
Yeah, I did in October.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Okay.
before we start, right, I just want to say that we are on our 11th episode now.
Yeah.
I feel that the topics that we have talked about previously, right, it's just our 2 cents on those topics like politics and academics, and I think it doesn't really make us how to say very educated on the subject. Like let's say for example academics, right? Because we are still students, but we are giving advice in a way like we have PhD or we have gone through like 50 years of experience. But we just want to let Sam and I would like the viewers to know that we just want to give 2 cents on the topic. Yeah, and if we can help out in any way, then yeah, sure. We just give our advice lah. But we are in no way very experienced on whatever subject that we talk about, and we will always strive to learn and adapt as we go along. So today's topic is about stress and its benefactors. So Sam, besides the negative perceptions of stress and its effects, what is good about stress?
I believe if stress wasn't stressful at all, I think there will be no challenges. And if you want to be skilled in an area, you need like for example you're a sailor, you definitely need a sea to practice on, and you need a sea that has storms in it, right? And if it was calm and smooth, like those ponds you see, in some areas where it's just very calm, like there was no waves and stuff like that. If it's just like that, then a smooth sea or a smooth, I think it will be a puddle. I would generalize it as a puddle if it's not if there's no storm in it. Then I don't think it will be I don't think this sailor or perhaps you in a sense would be a skilled sailor. Yeah. See how the camera just moved. Yeah.
Supernatural.
Yeah. Need to you need challenges for you to improve your to improve the way you work, to improve the work process. And how about yourself? What do you think is good about stress?
I think stress can be classified into eustress and distress. Have you heard of these two terms? Eustress spelled it as EU, then stress, and distress is obviously like distressing. You know the word distressing. So I've learned of these two terms back in my first term in uni. My lecturer told me that there are two different types of stresses that we go through lah. One is eustress. Eustress is doing the things that you like, and although you feel stressed, but then in the end you feel like there's a positive outcome. So for example, for this podcast, right, even though there are some stresses behind, we have to, let's say, make time to record episode despite our busy schedules, to edit, some of the technical errors that you can fix. Although these are stresses also, but then the outcome is we know it's gonna be a positive outcome. So that's eustress. Then distress is obviously going through things that you don't enjoy, and then ultimately the outcome. Ultimately the outcome is negative lah. So in a way, I believe that eustress is much better for us, which ties into what you say lah. We need adversities in life so that we
Yes.
can grow. If the sea is calm, right, then there's no like potential for growth.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
What?
Uh,
Sorry.
mm. Yeah, I'm actually just thinking of like some way to like connect all these things, but there's nothing so far. Anyways, you were saying.
Now, on a more personal note, what grinds your gears or what stresses you out?
Mm, I think I could say for you like um I actually do think that you if you don't have anything to do, like you mentioned this, you mentioned this before, where if
Mm.
you don't have anything to do, you actually get stressed,
Yeah.
and like you get worked up on. Is that correct?
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know where I got this notion from, no? Which I agree with like for Andrew Tate. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but when he was younger, there's this video of him and he mentioned that there's this he feels crippling boredom. That's what he coined the term as. So he's not the type to sit around and do nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but although okay, sometimes I try to balance. Like if there's something to do, I seek the things to do lah. But if there
Mm,
are days or periods where I deserve a rest, then I just chillax lah, like weekends
yeah.
lah.
Mm,
Yeah. So you
mm.
that's what stresses you out.
That's one thing. That's one thing that stresses me out. Cause like I actually have the same notion as you. Like when it comes to like when it comes to this kind of stress, where you don't have anything to do. So after ORDing in November the 2nd, um, I actually had nothing to do other than work out and stuff. And like I I was supposed to go back to the Philippines, but I choose to stay here because like um the school year hasn't ended and it just started,
Mm.
and I have to wait until I think September so that I could like start school.
Mm.
But that's not the case for me because like um what do you call this? Like I chose to stay here because there are much more better things to do other than just like stay at home and wait for the school year to start. So what I chose to do was to actually stay in Singapore for a couple of months. I think 6 months. 6 months is the time that's perfect.
Yeah.
And I chose to do part time. That's when I had the idea to actually work part time. And cause I just hate to see like people I'm actually just like bothered, even though I'm not supposed to be bothered by people like their progresses in life in general, and I'm just really bothered by that and how like the pace that I'm the pace that I'm having right now at that moment.
Mm.
So and I was doing nothing at all, so I was very discouraged with what I'm doing with my life and as you know, like after Wadi, you don't have allowances anymore and
Yeah.
stuff. And yeah, I just started to just rethink about. Yeah, I just had this like this thought like, what am I doing with my life and stuff. And it really got me. It really got me like it really provoked my thoughts and stuff. So yeah, I guess that's what led me to working in a part time job, which is stuff.
Mm.
And another thing that grinds my gear is if I'm not doing what I am supposed to do. So I still have this conscience. Like I think this conscience stuck with me throughout the years. Ever since I was in primary school. So in primary school I didn't have um much motivation to actually study, but I have this fear that I would have when if I don't study then I would fail, and that really like um scared me
Yeah.
and um I what do you call this I it just happened to be that it stresses me out because of the negative impact that that's gonna affect me lah when I don't actually study. So yeah, that's another example of what grinds my gears.
Yeah.
Lastly, it would be hmm, I guess if I'm tired, lah, honestly. If I'm tired, then it really like the my thoughts aren't. Do you still remember during the army, like during BMT,
Yeah,
like you know
yeah.
the 24 click
I was
march?
thinking of that exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we got your me.
Yeah, so when I'm very tired, I would actually have nothing, like I have no means to like actually no means, I don't know, not no means, like I would I would actually just go haywire. Like
Yeah.
all my thought process would be like everywhere. And so at that time when it happened, during the 24 click march, Jules was beside me, and Jules and Nash was beside me. So I was like they were all like we were supposed to rest at that time, and then we were like talking and stuff,
Yeah.
like nothing much was happening. They told us to rest. And then I got so worked up with the 24 click. I was like, yo, I can't believe it that we've done it, man. And then I just keep on repeating it. And then I just like what do you call this? Oh, all those sayings that all those hidden joke hidden, is it hidden
Inside
jokes?
joke.
Inside jokes.
Yeah.
All these inside jokes that we actually made during BMT, I would like kacau them. Kacau them. Like kacau means to disturb. So for those viewers who don't know, kacau means to disturb. So I kept on disturbing them to the point that Jones got fucking worked up.
Yeah.
And then he just told me off.
And bear in mind, that was like 2-3 a.m. We just arrived at the platform underneath.
Yeah.
And then we only subsequently had only like 2-3 hours of sleep. Yeah. Yeah, Sam was behind me. I remember then you just cut on me, then I got them, but that exactly grinds my gear. That annoyed me lah. Especially when you're tired lah.
I guess it's a core memory that we actually had during BMT.
Yeah. Looking back.
It was fun. It was fun. It was actually fun, disturbing. Like I know it's bad to disturb, but at that point of time it was so perfect to like the moment was just perfect to actually catch out. Cause knowing Jones very a goofy type also, so it's like I got comfortable with him during the whole BMT. And actually now thinking about it, I can't believe how active I am when I'm in rest, and not active when I'm doing the 24 click room march. I was fucking I mean I was going around the sections and stuff in the platoon, talking to them.
Yeah.
Then towards the end I just became quiet because I'm fucking tired. But then when it comes to rest, wow, that's where I all let my let all my energies hang loose.
So ultimately, what grinds your gears grinds my gears lah. Yeah. No, because you brought up the point, we were talking to almost everyone during the route march. I mean, of course, route march we want to keep ourselves entertained, ma. So at the point of time you kacau me, I also don't care. I mean, I will still layan you lah, still entertain you lah. Yeah lah, still would lah, to keep myself awake and active during the march lah. After that, then it's a problem. I really want to rest already. I need goofy and all that. 24 minus 8 hours, 16 hours, 15, 16 hours of my time. And then the rest I want to sleep, you know. So don't cut on me, you want to sleep, right? Especially we only got like what 2-3 hours of sleep. Yeah.
That's the time when like when Sergeant Major actually woke us up. My active level just went up. Then I just started showing everyone. Let's go.
No, okay, but I give it to you. Towards the end. I mean, sorry, the beginning of the march out. Yeah, then that one we got hyped up, cause it's like a milestone, ma.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
it's a
then
huge milestone.
especially not knowing that it was the last day before Mindef stopped all the POPs at the platform because of COVID. So we're actually the
Yeah,
last batch. But had we known this, I think it would be double sacked up. Yeah.
which one?
Knowing that we will be the last batch on the last day.
Yeah. Actually, I brought it up during BMT. It's like, imagine this was the last time that we. Wait, it was mentioned.
Oh,
It was
really?
mentioned by one of the captains. They say, you guys are very lucky to have POP. It's falling down. Yeah.
I don't recall though. I only recall the part where they try to bluff us and say, okay, you must work for your tossing of the cap. That was during the rehearsal. Yeah, that's
That
what I
was
remember.
stupid.
But then it's
stupid,
to make us work harder for the rehearsal lah. Yeah, but the COVID bullshit, like, okay, don't throw your cap because of cross all that. I think it's BS lah. It's just to make us work hard lah. But I after that I hear no mention of March 7 being the last day. Especially until I did Ops V 1 year later. Then this guy from I worked with this guy from school 4. He said that I think he POP I think March 8 they're supposed to go to platform but then didn't. So I felt that bad for him. But then ultimately they marched at Salabin, right?
But I feel bad
Salabin,
for those.
I think so.
I feel bad for those people who actually POP'd in the camps.
Yeah, that is the milestone, you know. It's not really or the parade. It's POP. Because you go to a public area.
Yeah,
so that is one of the
exactly.
milestones. Yeah.
I think it's a very big milestone.
Yeah.
Because like, having like being in the center of the city's well-known hub.
Yeah.
It's like the best place you can actually celebrate your POP.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And now
you get to see.
because everyone gets to see and they rebuilt that place. Was it called NS Hub or something like that?
Yeah.
So it's a especially popular place for us and the public alike. And the march around no, not around, along East Coast Park.
Yeah.
Where the patrons of the restaurants just stop their food, see us, and then after just applaud us.
Yeah,
That
I mean that
heartwarming
was
moment.
very.
Yeah.
It was not just heartwarming, but very rewarding as well. Cause like, you know, like, you get to serve your nation and stuff, and like, wait, sorry, you get to like serve your nation and stuff, and like it's very. Oops, sorry,
Yeah, it's alright.
you get to like serve your nation and stuff, and like it's very patriotic as well. I like imagine being on the other end.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, all these NS boys who so tough are like something like they think highly of you,
Yeah.
and it's very like very very pleasing to hear all these stuff. So you don't really hear that stuff, and all you hear is like hey, why this NS boy sitting on the train must give to the elderly or something like that. There's like a bit, you know, but yeah, it's very very, what's the opposite of encouraging? It's very encouraging to have.
Yeah, I agree with you. Cause it's like we see the SPF, they do their duties around Singapore, right? And then obviously the SCDF as well, but you don't really see the SAF training outside. Maybe apart from us lah. I mean, doing duty at SCA lah. Other than that, it's quite secluded in our training camp. But so when you see soldiers outside, right, especially a contingent of soldiers, right, you feel like wow, them proud for both sides. I mean, the
like,
public and us lah.
Yeah, it's like the North Korea, like the march, right? They show all of the, but there's no real celebration when they threw the caps and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, despite the politics, it's nice to see soldiers being welcomed and appreciated. Yeah,
very very traditional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what grinds my gears is one thing what the what you did during the POP. The other one is
Yeah.
primarily people that are being indecisive. So for example, they don't have a plan, uh, a well thought out plan, and then
Mm.
that involves and trickles down to all of us. So for example, I think the famous notion, the army, wait rush to wait to rush, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's some sort of indecisiveness whether, okay, want to let's say go lunch now or go lunch later or something like that. That it affects all of us. Yeah. The other thing is I remember uh very well was the when we reached SW, and we immediately had dinner. And then
Yeah.
because of the what recent incidents, then we decided to do P-boss right when we arrived at SW. Then I was eating halfway, Then after that, they asked us to go down and go and do P-boss. Then I got damn annoyed. I was eating with Darren because I hate it when people interrupt my meals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, it would be affected to everyone. Like,
Yeah, but again,
and
it's duty call so no
yeah.
choice Yeah, but it's I think it leads to indecisiveness where they tell us to eat this 15-20 minutes to go and eat, right, and then suddenly say, okay, let's do P-boss now, or whatever. Then like, okay, what do you want us to do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There comes the indecisiveness, and then that grinds my gears. Uh,
Mm.
yeah, mostly the experience come from army because army got a lot of cock out,
Yeah.
right? Cock out already.
Okay.
Oh, memories, yeah. So,
Definitely.
what was your most stressful period?
Uh, okay, besides NS, right? I think N levels was my, I guess my second most. Wait, actually, it's the same. I think N levels was really uh the most stressful period I've ever like, experienced because it's it was more constant than NS, I think. Because like migrating was one of the topics that was talked about in the table, like in the dining table.
Mm.
And suddenly my dad decided to migrate back to the Philippines. Like he had like a plan of like when he's selling the house and stuff. And so we were selling furnitures and like throwing away books and stuff. And he just wanted to clear out the entire house. So that really like made me stressful cause like apart from that I need to study and stuff and like you know and the thought of migrating really scared me as I would firstly be starting all over again,
Mm.
like starting from zero, like I have no friends and stuff. Like, I know I can create friends, but I also have to be I would also have to be knowledgeable on the language itself. So um I would just be so worked up on um the school of what I'm going to be learning as well. And I'm not trying to sound like very is it called elitist or something like that, where I'm in a much I mean um like the standards in Singapore is is definitely better than developing like those developing countries,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
And like I'm just worried about what opportunities I'll be getting if once I'm like when I'm when I choose to study here.
Mm.
And I know it's gonna be affected as well. And it wouldn't like compared to like most Singaporeans are like those graduate from Singaporean polytechnics or like or even ITE
Mm.
or even uni as well. They have a much higher chance of getting jobs as their standards of jobs nowadays are like um what they would have like the standards are basically what Singapore is right now, like the ideal standard that jobs
Mm.
the people um who want to work for the company. It will be the idealistic um the idealistic uh candidate will be those people who are from um non-developing countries like Singapore and stuff. I mean developed countries such as Singapore and stuff. Yeah.
Mm.
And yeah, and it really like the worry of all these worries actually consume me, and I just started to begin to yeah I actually started I just started to lose my focus in school. And um I guess all of these worries got to me to the point where I actually um I think it's a self-diagnosis where I became depressed. It's a self-diagnosis. So I
Mm.
wouldn't say that I'm clinically depressed, but I found myself at my lowest at that point of time. And um, it got even more uh, worse when I actually had no one to talk to. Like no one I was comfortable talking with
Mm.
basically. And this led me uh, to just stay in my own room and be very private about it. And I think that led me to binge eat, um which led me to become like to grow fat and to be more like comfortable with the lifestyle I'm choosing to live,
Mm.
and also leading to the unhealthy lifestyle that I'm living lah. And yeah, I think that was like a very dark chapter, like in towards like in my education experience. And I guess I could have done it better
Mm.
basically. Yeah. How about yours? Yours?
Oh, the typical stressful period is towards PSLE, towards N level. I think just
Mm,
earlier on you mentioned that you feel that if you didn't study, then you feel a bit guilty, right, because of the negative
yeah.
effects. Yeah, I also
Yeah.
have that. Even my secondary school teacher, he mentioned that when he was younger, he liked to play truant lah, so to speak. But then when he felt like
Like,
when there's the need to study, he will just study because of the guilt that he's facing. And I
yeah.
presume that most students are like that lah.
Mm,
Um, the actually I just want to know more about what you mentioned on the moving house. That was when
mm.
your parents say that they want to migrate back to the Philippines is right before your N levels,
Yeah, it was
and
right
then
before my life.
the the process of migrating to Philippines is after your N levels lah.
Yeah. I
Uh,
mean, during and after,
wow.
because it was during my N levels. Yeah, it really like took a toll on my mental health. Cause like the worries that I had to deal with, and like um and I'm not actually blaming my dad for this. Cause like I understand I understand his situation of why he actually need to move out, like why he actually need to migrate. But like it did some effect on me as well. And I don't blame him completely, because I do think it's up to me to it's up to me to think that uh it's up to me to think that um whether I'll take this lightly or take this negatively. And it's up to the individual lah. And so I don't blame him for the mishap that happened during this time, and why I didn't do as well as I did in my other exams and so.
Mm.
But I mean, I don't really do well in exams technically. But all I'm saying uh is that it really affected me. That whole migrating process really made me lose my focus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The actually I don't think I've asked you this before. Were you actually born in Singapore? Your whole
No,
life after that? Oh, okay.
I was actually born here, like in the Philippines.
And then when do you move to Singapore?
2004, five, no, five,
So that's when
five.
you're 3 to 4 years old.
Yeah.
Oh, hi. You got surprise guest. Hint hint.
Hint, hint. It's my mom. anyways, we were talking about
You moving from Philippines to Singapore.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
that was 3-4 years old.
yeah, 3 4 years old.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, pretty young.
ah, okay, yeah. Okay. Your stressful period was during the N levels. I guess my stressful period is not just the exam periods, but rather it comes in short bursts. Like probably 1 or 2 days, at max 1 week. So for example, the most recent case was going to Malaysia, and then
Mm.
I had to figure out what are the devices to bring so that I can continue editing the episode,
Yeah.
the previous episode, the nutrition one, and I had to sort of rush lah. I prioritize it because I thought that I cannot find the time to edit while in Malaysia, and thankfully
Mm.
we edited and uploaded everything right before I left.
Yeah.
So that was a good thing lah. So ultimately that led to stress lah. Because it led to a positive outcome. That was stress nonetheless lah. But it was manageable lah.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay, speaking about your binge eating, your self-diagnosed depression, right? And that was
Yeah.
towards N levels and towards the after N levels you went IT, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that period. How do you overcome your dark period?
Honestly, I wouldn't say I actually overcame it. I actually coped, and so basically this whole like overcoming thing, it was negative, cause I firstly had I had this hate that I actually have towards like my me and my dad would have a really I guess I wouldn't say rough, like it wasn't well, basically.
Mm.
My relationship with him wasn't as well, and um it's I guess like I think I'm going off topic here, um but yeah, all I did was wait, what was the question again? Fuck.
you got
I got
emotional and
lost.
choked up already.
No, like I just don't know what words to like come about,
Mm.
and like it's just it was just such a um I wouldn't say a dark chapter, because I know most of you guys have even like darker chapters than me. Just that in my own experience, I think that was like quite harsh as well.
Mm.
And I think people have different pain receptors and pain you know
Tolerance.
tolerance.
Yeah.
Yes. And it was just quite like, for me, I'm not used to that kind of stress,
Mm.
and it was just too painful for me to actually remember. So um I guess all I did was just to cope, to just cope with it, and then just move on with the times and stuff. And like I just made the time just pass, because it was just really it really got up to me, that and I wasn't focused on doing anything,
Mm.
and all my decisions were all messed up, and like um I just didn't know what to actually do. So um when the exams were all over, um I was just against the whole idea of moving back, cause like, yeah, like for the things that I've mentioned. And uh I guess the ways that I did to cope was to actually to binge watch shows and stuff. And there was no I realize now that doing that just like watching shows and like making just making stuff, like just leaving stuff as it is, and like doing nothing with like the development, doing nothing on my development, and just watching. It's just so useless. I feel like it was like a useless move for me to just binge watch and not do anything. And so I watched iCarly. I actually watched iCarly, and I feel like it was the worst decision I have ever made. Like I'm now realizing that, and the reason why I think that is because instead of doing something like productive and stuff, like I should have been doing this and stuff. I should have been starting my own channel so that I could actually um actually learn how to project my voice and like be able to communicate effectively. But no, all I just did was dwell on the stresses and be consumed by it as well. And instead of being productive, I and watching all these telenovas such as I mean not I don't think iCarly is a telenova, but other telenovas just gave me uh another negative attitude of being dramatic. And I would think scenarios and stuff, and I would like often think of them and kind of like say, oh, what if I said it like this, makes things dramatic. And it was just so like I wish I didn't, but I wish I didn't do it. But like I guess um after all this time thinking about it, sure there are things that I should have done, but yeah, it's over now. I can't do I can't do much of what has already happened.
Yeah.
So yeah, which actually brings to actually no. How about you? How did you overcome with your own
Stress.
yeah, overcome this particular event that you were
I think I'm a
you
person
mentioned?
that had to learn through the hard way. So for example, education, right? I didn't do very well. Ended up in IT. After that, went to Kaplan. It's not something to be shunned. I don't regret my decisions because I'm a person that will turn so to say negative situation to a positive one. I make do the best I have. Obviously, I could have gone to say the uh, local polys lah instead of Kaplan or something like that. If I had my GPA been better lah than 2.5 lah, but because I didn't study well, so that ultimately affected my future decisions and outcomes. And in a way, the stress came in whereby I had to fit into a certain educational notion that the society places on us, or like, okay, if you go to IT, it's the end for you, and this all these kind of notions. So that slightly got to me lah. But I realized I slowly became a person that don't really care what others think. I know what's the best for myself, especially if it's educational productive. I make the best out of it. So I just carry on lah. It's not that I'm doing something toxic or negative. And if people say that I'm doing it wrongly, right, then and I don't listen to them, then obviously I'm in the wrong lah. But this is my educational pathway mah. It's not really of your concern lah.
That's subjective as well.
Yeah, and especially the way I see it, my relatives and cousins all go through poly, go through local poly, local uni, JC, all this kind of thing. But I'm the first to go to IT. I believe so lah. So I didn't really care. I felt it like wow, I'm the first person to go to IT. Like that's a achievement. Obviously, I would have done better lah. But I think of it positively. I'm the first. Yeah, I'm the first to go. So that's how I overcome the stress lah. Yeah. I think it's excuse me, it's again, I just now you mentioned subjective, right?
But
Nah lah, I don't think I'm a person that has very wait, is it low stress or high stress tolerance? I think low stress tolerance. I don't think I'm a person that gets stressed out very easily. Because I feel like I got uh different pathway to go. If I deviate a bit, then I sort of know what to do next. As long as I sort of achieve my goal, my target,
Mm,
then I won't feel so stressed out lah.
mm,
Yeah. If I know that there's something at the end what end of the tunnel or light of the tunnel,
yes,
the light at the end of the tunnel, then I know
yes.
that I know that I'm going through the right path lah. Even though it's been a sort of darker chapter lah. But
Mm,
yeah, I don't think I can compare my dark chapter to your dark chapter. And as you
definitely, yeah.
mentioned, you cannot compare your dark chapter to let's say the other
Another.
people. Yeah, but that's just our sort of event lah.
Mm.
Yeah, but okay, if you had to go through this particular event again, how will you sort of do it differently? How will you tackle it?
I guess the perspective really matters. So, as you have said, like everybody's like it's subjective. But if there's a way, to actually handle things, and um, there's actually a very uniform way that you should actually deal with your stress, then I think you should use it.
Mm.
So, um, having a positive mindset is one way to actually tackle this event,
Mm.
this stress, um this stressful event, right?
Yeah.
And um, I think, I mean, now coming towards like my personal view on things, like how I would actually do it. I believe now will be different, as um I should have been um I should have stayed committed, even even if I was even I was what do you call this, even if I was exposed to such stress, I should have like kept my scope clear and know what I actually wanted, and I should have stayed focused in school as well, because I feel like being focused in school really like helps a lot.
Mm.
So and self study wasn't really that much of a topic before. I mean, though it actually existed, but I don't do much self study as much as now, basically. So yeah, I guess I should have been more committed to my role, which was to be a student.
Mm.
So yeah, I do think that you should always be reminded of what of again your purpose, your purpose
Yeah.
again your purpose. Like why are you, like what's your role for the society? If you're a student, stay a student. Go to school. You know, do your homework, or like do your projects and on time. You know, um, and what else? And knowing, I actually realized this like after, like I guess during NS, is that knowing that it's not knowing that time is actually money. So if you don't really use it properly, you won't actually succeed. So if you don't value time, you don't actually value money. You don't there's no value, um uh th- th- you won't actually value anything if you don't value time.
Mm.
And um lastly will be that uh towards the aspects of how I should look at things. Um Instead of like dwelling onto the events that's happening around you, um you should you should be in the moment, instead of dwelling on the what ifs. Like,
Mm.
what if you actually migrated? What if you do this, you don't study and stuff like that. You you kind of eliminate the whole your worries, basically, if you actually um if you actually kind of like put your mind and soul to it, mind, heart, and soul to it, whatever. And I do think that's a way. I actually now believe like this thing is like manifests. It like there's such thing as called manifestation and stuff. And because like the energy that you put in is the energy that you receive back.
Yeah.
So if you don't you don't put in the effort, you don't put in full fuck. If you don't put in full fuck effort, then you'll get a half fuck result.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah. So that's like the realism of what happens when you don't actually put your energy into it. Yeah. So yeah, how about you? Or what do you think? Like in a yeah, if a similar event were to occur again, what will you do?
I think, okay, if you don't mind, I use your example and what you
Mm,
have said.
yeah.
I think it all relates to stoicism. So okay, if you mentioned that you don't dwell on the what ifs, right? So
Yes.
is in relations to only think of what you can control and not what the external factors that you can't control.
Mm,
You only can control what your own emotions, ma. External
mm,
events you can't control it, what. So if you focus on yourself, then that's ideal lah. But also adding on, I think I'm also the type of guy that in a way sort of dwell with the what ifs. So for example, your case, what if I were to migrate to Philippines, so that I know what to look out for, and then see whether there's any other positive outcome that I manage
mm,
to experience
yeah.
lah. I don't want to completely shun out the possibility of me migrating to Philippines, because if it truly happens, then I must be ready.
That's
I
true.
must take up the next few steps how to assimilate into life in Philippines.
Mm,
But if the possibility of me not migrating to Philippines, then obviously I don't think about it too much lah. But if the day by day the possibility of me migrating to Philippines get higher and higher, then of course I should think about it lah. But
preparing, yes.
in terms of the, I only think of the positives of migrating to Philippines and not the negatives, like, or what if I can't like catch up in school, or what if I can't like, make friends, you know. If I were in your shoes, I would probably think I can it's like basically start from zero lah, make new
Mm,
friends, uh change my mindset into thinking that okay, yes, I'm a student and I should focus my entirety and my entirety of my focus on studies, because I'm a student. That's my
mm,
that's my role and that's my duty. So that's how I would sort of tackle the situation if this thing were to occur again lah. But that's your example. I
mm,
don't think I can say my examples, because it's honestly menial compared to yours. Because yours is migrating to another country is life changing, especially when you were in Singapore since 3 years old, and what N levels was like what 15, 16 years old. So
yeah.
you've been here in that
Almost
period
all the time.
a
Yeah.
good 13 years,
Yeah.
So that's more life changing. Yeah.
Mm.
No. Okay.
But yeah, I actually did I actually did have that mindset where I would think the I think NS really taught me how to think positively.
Yeah.
And
Same.
yeah, I think that would uh that actually happened during NS. I just started thinking about the positive as well, rather than staying on the dirt. Yeah, I think that's one of the things that actually um that's what I will do lah, basically on the next time that I've
Mm.
been you know uh actually mentioning that still remember the time where uh they actually mentioned this in the previous episode where I said that you're working out and you're getting paid.
Yeah.
Did I say?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
I think
what
that
the first or second episode, right? Was it last one? The previous one? Yeah, but I remember you said that. Yeah.
yeah.
Because yeah, we woke up and then we really get paid. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
not just the PY duties but and the
Yeah.
combat pay and whatsoever. But
Yeah.
you're basically being fed for technically free lah. Well, it's not entirely free, obviously. It still comes at cost. But we
Mm,
never fork our own money to pay for the food, what. And then we certainly get paid while actually being fit.
exactly.
Yeah. Okay, but yeah. Speaking of the army, how do you manage to overcome stress while or rather the pressures of the work? How do you manage to
Okay.
overcome?
Um, with the numerous turnout drills, the medical assessments,
Mm.
um, during my time there, I actually told myself that this too shall pass. Like all these things shall pass, and um, that I should actually always do everything like at my best, and I shouldn't I should always stay committed to my role,
Mm.
and uh just do your duty lah, as you were told to. I'm not saying that you should be a sheep and just I mean you have your own mind lah. If you think it's a good thing to that you are a sheep and that you are benefiting from it, then I think you should go for it lah. But anyways, um yeah, sure, I would have some thoughts in my mind, and I would be somewhat consumed by it still lah. But um it it really um it really affect sorry, the thought of it, the thought of staying committed to my role really eliminated this thoughts that was current that was um having
Mm.
basically. Yeah, so yeah, that's how I kind of manage, maneuver uh around like army and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, how about yourself?
I think I thrive under pressures. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Especially like you mentioned, first mentioned turnout, because there's this if you feel like, oh shit, turnout, then we feel like zombies, just woken up,
Yeah.
something like that, and then you feel like such a dread. But then I think you mentioned previously, wherever it got turned out, they will be like damn psyched up, like yes, turn out, let's go. Then you just rush out, wear our boots, rush out, and draw arms, all that. So I mean, obviously there's a sort of pressure there, but then there's a good kind of pressure to meet the timing, and then uh with I think that's the army side lah. With regards to, let's say, everyday life or studies in particular, especially right now, right? It's I wouldn't say that if I have a deadline for assignment, right, then I will wait until the last day to do it
Oh,
in the
yeah,
under
yeah.
the notion of thriving under pressure. Obviously, I don't do that lah, because that's damn dumb lah.
It's
But
unnecessary.
yeah, that's that's that unnecessary. But as a student, you definitely have stresses in life on how to meet deadlines and all that, and it's up to you whether to prioritize it lah.
Mm,
Yeah, but yeah, the I think army has really gave us a lot of life lessons on how to prioritize.
that's very true.
Yeah, the prioritize the things that matter the most.
Mm,
As cliche as it sounds, I say this to almost everyone. As cliche as it sounds, army really changed our lives.
yeah.
Yeah, and people, whether people like NS or not, this is entirely up to them. But you definitely have a certain change of perception in life. And for
Mm.
us, I guess it's more positive lah. We have a more positive outlook towards life and how we
No,
manage it.
I was thinking about it. This whole turnout thing.
Mm.
I actually fear turnouts, cause you don't know the possibility of which it could be real. You
Mm.
know, and as a medic, I actually would be very traumatized if a turnout was actually real and like we had to actually get to deploy. But part of me also saw the benefits of this fear,
Yeah.
because this fear kind of like reminds you of um how you shouldn't take safety for granted,
Mm.
and like you should be always on your guard no matter what.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think you okay, if let's say the turnout, eventually turns out turns out to be real. No pun intended. If it turns out to be real, touch wood, I think medics will have it in a way the worst, because if you get injuries and casualties, right, then you are probably you and I would say maybe the next platoon medic will help us, what, and that would pile up on your stress, what, right, because
Yeah.
you have to account for so many casualties.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I think you'll probably have it worse if it turns
Mm.
out to be true.
That's why to all the medics out there, uh, I don't be complacent with your skills. Like once you so-called VOC or like you vocation out of your what do you call this, your camp where SMTI in Nee don't be complacent, and just because you scored the highest in your test doesn't mean that you will do the same in the actual thing,
Yeah,
because like
theory
it's
is half the
actually
battle.
like being a medic actually is the most I think like for myself it would be the most stressful job, because like you not only you'll be taking care of like the company, but you also be taking care of the affairs of like the in terms of health care wise. Like for example, like someone like you know cuts off their foot and they're bleeding, like you have to think on your feet, like like it's honestly I would think it's damn stressful. And every time I'm on duty in SW or JG or whatever, I would actually have this fear that I would actually keep. I mean, not that I keep, but I have this fear that once something that bad has happened, wow, it'll be very like um I wouldn't say traumatizing lah, but like my heart would still remember the time uh where Iggy was told to be a casualty, and then we had our gas mask on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was really consumed by the fact, like, wow, imagine if we actually wore our gas mask and stuff, like imagine like the real thing happened and like there were like firefights and all.
Mm.
It's like, alright, Iggy went down, then everybody went down. Went down. Yeah, I'm wearing my mask and all that, and I just couldn't breathe. Like I that's the feeling of getting consumed, like with all these worries and stuff.
Yeah.
And it really got like um it really like so called like woke me up with all these duties and purposes and stuff. And like I was just uh I was just very like so called scared of like the duties and stuff. And like I wouldn't say that I'm incompetent. I'm still I would still say that I'm still somewhat competent with my whole medic skills and stuff. But like like I'm just scared. I'm just scared when something happened and you don't know what to do. That's like the worst fear that I could actually imagine. Like imagine someone with a cut off arm, or maybe like a gunshot wound to the arm, and then the arteries are all like the blood from the arteries are all spurting out. You just don't know what the fuck you're gonna do.
Yeah.
It's just really scary.
I can only
And
imagine. Damn.
yeah, and imagine you were like the only medic around, and like
Yeah.
you see all this, like not only that is happening, but all the CO and all these higher rank that fucking look at you,
Mm.
and then the pressure is just all there. And then you have the thoughts of going to DB just because you don't know what to do. You just don't know what's the procedure of what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
It's just really so nerve wracking. So every time whenever there's a higher ups like coming into camps, like I know uh y'all will be like very chill and stuff. Like you talk to the talk with the I would be on my fucking feet, bro. Like I just want to escape the whole thing and just go to the toilet and just chill there. But then as a medic, I know my own role, so I
Yeah.
have to be in the ops room.
Definitely. Yeah.
And
I
I
agree with
just I just had to to do my duty lah.
Yeah.
But then yeah, I mean you all were like very chill, like talk with the CEO or something like that, or like the what the
RSM.
MP commander.
Yeah, MBCom.
MP
Yeah.
commander. Yeah. Then you always, I mean, although it'll be the same for the troopers as well as the commanders. I think the um, medic is the being a medic is a very
I think they're more stringent on medic because of how
yeah.
SCF prioritizes safety, right?
Mm.
and medics is one, if not the only, sort of safety
Force to-
oriented. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the sort of the role model to prioritize safety and not only yourself but the entire company lah. So I guess you feel stressed because all the high ups want you to be knowledgeable when it
And
comes to
tip-top.
medical terms, because if
Yeah,
if you sort of fuck it up, right, then it saves a lot of our safety, because our safety is literally in your hands ma. And if you don't take care of our safety, then fucked up already lah. Cock out already.
Cock out
Yeah.
already. Major.
Yeah.
I think it reflects. If let's say we cock out, it actually reflects how as a Singaporean man, it reflects how much we actually like, how much control we have here.
Mm.
Like, cause like if you are very incompetent, like very so called like scared, and like don't know what to do when actuality comes up, and it just reflects on how are we as a force of the nation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The just now you mentioned, if example someone cuts off, or sorry, not cuts off, but the feet is being like blown away, then you're sitting on your feet.
Feet is over there, bro.
Yeah. Sorry, but while you were explaining your I just like half smiling, half like listening to what you're trying to say, because the pun. I'm sorry. But yeah.
Oh, so good.
But yeah, I understand your notion and your stresses, because definitely medic is just definitely more stringent. It's
I guess it would be better if it was actually best if I actually became a medic.
Sorry?
It was actually best if I became a medic, cause if you was Sean,
Okay. No, but I guess okay, one thing is different is other people's different people, different mindset and competency level, and the fact that you can know that although I feel stressed out, but then because you know that you have a role to play, and a very important role at that, so you have to immediately switch your mindset and then be actually competent. I don't think many people will literally think on their feet lah, cause they you mentioned like hyperventilation. You feel stressed out, you hyperventilate, you all this, what is going on, then you're just completely like deep in form. Yeah. But speaking of the troopers, right?
Yeah.
Again, I try from pressure to the point that do you remember the was it the CO, the indoor CO one, at MRC, where we had to set up the fake tree stumps, rocks. We did conventional CO. Yeah, we did not conventional CO, conventional ops indoors instead of outdoors. We did with live rounds at MRC. Yeah. Then the previous CO, Sir Vincent, was there. Then because of our trooper CO relationship, we were like, I was like, hey sir, sit back, enjoy the show. And moments later I fucked it up. because I chong without Saranzaki's command. I thought I heard his command, but actually I didn't hear shit. Yeah, just everyone, I think all 5 or 6 of them firing, right? Our section firing. I was the only one that chong in front of their line of fire. Then I tell CO to enjoy the show, and he was watching us. Then I malu. I think
Then what did he
The
say
Charlie
to you?
sergeant scold me.
Oh, what did he say to you?
I don't think I saw CO after that, or maybe I did, but then I was a bit embarrassed to talk to him. But yeah, I don't think he scolded me. The Charlie sergeant did, but
Oh,
but CO
what
didn't.
did he say?
Which one?
What
CO
did
or Charlie
the
sergeant?
Charlie sergeant? What
Oh,
did Charlie?
he said
Like
like,
word for
what
word.
is your second never call you? Why you move? Then he asked me to get back lah. He's like literally like almost drag me out of position or drag me back to the firing line, so to speak.
So
Because I
scary.
literally was in front of their line of fire and live round some more, thinking that I heard Saransaki's command. And the worst part is I tell CEO enjoy the show. Yeah, and that was Sir John's introduction to us, because
So
yeah, we had our before leaving for MRC. That was about like 6:30 a.m. Before boarding bus. Then I saw this but at that time he was a lieutenant. He was like hanging around us. Then I thought like, is this guy gonna like follow us? Then eventually he did, and his name was Sir John lah. Then that was the very first experience that Sir John faced. Imagine being your was he like our second PC, so to speak? Yeah, your first experience as your second PC. And that happened.
let's keep it long form for our viewers.
Platoon commander.
Because platoon commander.
Our lieutenant.
He's an officer.
Yeah, he.
Yeah.
Imagine, Tashu, I died, and then that was his introduction to Delta Company. Then I think we had a AAR after action report or review rather at training shed when we came back. Then Sir John introduced us to himself. To himself. He introduced himself to us. Then I think he mentioned my incident.
Yeah. Just
But then again, looking back and at that point of time, I just smile because I shouldn't take safety for granted. But that part of course is not I anyhow want to chiong. It's I legit thought that was Sanzaki's orders. But then it's like I turn it into a more positive thing. Positive thing, I'm still alive lah. But again, I shouldn't take it for granted lah, because it's really a hassle. Imagine if I die, then after that, the chain of command, all the reports come in, then media what's that, media
coverage.
No, not media coverage. All will 9 hours will be scrutinized lah. So that's the wrong kind of pressure to thrive on lah. If you think about the larger scale of things. Yeah. But yeah, it was fucked up. Yeah. Have you?
I just imagine you like everybody shooting.
Yeah. It was exactly like it. It was exactly like that. Yeah. I mean, looking now, it's funny as shit because that's exactly what happened. But
enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Enjoy the show.
Rambo. Oh, like garang, yeah. But yeah, that I legit thought was Saransaki's command. Oh my gosh. But yeah, have you felt stressed doing the things you love?
Yeah, I think stress is very normal. I think stress, again, purpose. I think stress, okay, I'm not gonna say gives purpose, but the reason why the purpose of why stress is there is, I think
I think it leads to your first point where you say okay, if you got adversities then you can grow.
I just think that I just think stress is a purpose lah.
Stress is a purpose.
Yeah, stress makes purpose. Yeah. Do
you have any experience to
things that I love and doing, like I feel stressed?
Yeah.
I guess basketball was a very Yeah.
Okay.
I do love basketball. Like as a kid, like I will play at the community park where there's a lot of like 5v5s.
Mm.
One basketball game I remember was I actually fondly remembered was the time where um this was when I was living in Woodlands, yeah, and it was like a 5v5 match. 5v5, yeah, 5v5 match, a half court, and me and one Filipino guy was like, we were quite bonded lah, cause he was like the so called the big man of the whole team lah.
Mm.
So uh, I was I was being depended on for shooting all the points and stuff,
Mm.
and we kind of have like a very weak team, and we won to the like we won at the advantage, and we will be playing elimination round. So basically, we will be playing 5v5. Then whoever team wins stays,
Mm.
and yeah, I guess that's one example of okay. I think I'm going so messily. So I think we were down by a few points, and the team were up to an advantage, and it was like our first game, I think, yeah. And then I just started like running around the court and looking for possibilities to actually shoot the ball.
Mm.
And once I actually did that, that actually started generating more points and stuff,
Mm.
and that actually led us to us winning the game. So we played for 2 games, 3 games. We won just because of me, running around, and because of my other friend who's taking the rebounds. And it was just like really, it's like like being in the finals of the NBA.
Yeah.
Like like you feel so achieved that you actually won like 3 games and stuff like that. And then by the time where we reached 4 games, the whole side of the court was actually filled with spectators because our team was really winning, and we were what do you call this, um we were actually unbeatable, in the sense that almost every team didn't get the chance to actually beat us.
Wow.
And we were just really good lah.
Mm.
And it was just so nerve-wracking at the
Yeah.
same time. Achieve like very I felt very like invincible because of my I mean, I'm not gonna give credit all to myself as well, but towards my friend and to those who I was teammates with, because they were actually good team players as well. So yeah, give credit to them. But yeah, I guess that's one example that actually made me feel stressed when doing things that doing activities of which that I love, which is basketball. I think you would say the same about soccer. What do you think?
I would say so, but not to the point where you actually had spectators. That's quite
Yeah,
impressive. Yeah.
yeah,
Because I mean,
yeah.
when we play football, it's like just like that lor. I mean, if you play futsal, then
Why so sad? Like that all.
no, it's not like open area, your basketball court mah. You know.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we play at the futsal pitch, the only people that are seeing you are the sort of the relatives or friends of the teammates of the players that are playing, or other players that are doing a round robin system lah. Like winner stay, loser go out, something like that. But the 11 aside, then again, the spectators are their friends and other players as well. So I wouldn't feel much stress compared to what you're feeling, because your spectators, I would assume, are like those outsiders, those random people. So that's more stressful, and especially when you mentioned that because you are undefeatable, and then you all want to keep up with the winning streak. So that piles on to your stress lah. I would say.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
My
Mm.
my experience would be again video editing. Not just for this podcast, but in terms of the time constraints. But previously I edited my friend's music video, and that was in 2018, so 5 years ago. And we filmed it on a Friday, and Saturday I had a whole day lesson. It's sort of like a bridging course to start my diploma lah. So I had to go for that 9 to 6. Then the whole day I brought my com, but I didn't even pay attention to class. I just sat at the back row and just typing away and editing with my earpiece on, like what you're having right now, and editing. But then first when I sit at the back row, it feels like I actually like pay attention. So I will edit and then look up, then like yeah, I did. But actually the whole day I was editing, so I felt a bit pressured. It's due the pressure comes from the time constraint lah. But then again I tried on it lah. Yeah, because that's what I enjoy doing lah. Yeah, and if I want to meet deadlines like last week, the nutrition one, for fear that we couldn't upload on Saturday, I had to prioritize it lah. Before I leave, I did lah. So yay. But that's exactly what I mentioned. Eustress lah.
Eustress.
Yeah.
EUSTRES.
Correct. Yeah. And instead of distress, I think the distressing part in your life would be the migration, right? Would you say that? Yeah. And probably for me, maybe studies lah. Even though of course studies, if I were to take it seriously, then it would be a eustress lah. But I felt more distress than eustress. Yeah. Why in your opinion, why do you think we need stress where we can just like idle around or laze?
I think it really goes around like the whole purpose thing.
Yeah.
Do you think? Like,
yeah. Literally all
everything
like, is to purpose.
I feel like living itself is purpose.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to deviate from the purpose thing. Why do we need stress? I think it will be a regret if you like just what happened to me. I regretted just idling around and just binge watching shows when I could actually be more productive. And I feel like I just feel like it affects you negatively if you choose to laze around and it makes you having stress actually makes you more aware of things. If you look in a way where you let's say you're doing a project and stuff, if you don't have the stress or anything, then you wouldn't have the will. Like this also comes with like with the will that you're about to put the effort that you're going to put into your work. So if you don't have the will to put in the effort, then I don't think things wouldn't progress. And in this world of progression, I don't think there's any space for you to actually just idle around.
Yeah.
Because this kind of activities, right, is someone who's comfortable with your own life. And that you allow yourself to be comfortable in something where you wouldn't classify yourself as comfortable, and yet you are like you're like settling for less. You know what I mean?
I agree.
And if you would choose to either laze around, you just see everybody just progressing, and you just see us like I always thinking of this way because that really fears me. And like imagine all of your secondary school friends, your primary school friends, they all be talking about, I've achieved this, then you have the fuck you have, what the fuck do you have to put in the table?
Yeah. Exactly. I hate
Like,
that feeling.
like, and also to be compared to others. Oh my god, it's fucking things. Especially your parents. Like, imagine your parents like talking about your cousin because he got like the highest like highest pay in the family. Like,
Mm.
you know, I mean, though I respect the efforts and stuff, and though I don't agree. I mean, I actually do agree. I actually do agree with comparison because like that actually like okay, it might be negative to some viewers like being compared, but if you think of it in a way where you actually if you think in a positive aspect, you think that he's actually an influencer, not a demotivator. Because if he's a demotivator, he would tell you straight in the face that what would he tell you? If he was a demotivator, he would be telling you that you won't ever succeed.
Yeah.
He will doubt you.
He'll belittle
But
you lah.
if he's doing well and he encourages you, I think that's a. I mean, okay, remove the encourages you. If he just plainly does does better than you, then that should be a motivator for you to actually strive and not just beat him but be like him.
Mm.
And I don't think there's any competition between other people. It's a competition against you versus you.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's like how I would like put it in a sense where uh the reason why we need stress.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're ultimately saying that okay, yes, there's going to be some comparison, especially within society, but then you also have to look up to people that actually are doing well and try to
Mm.
match them. It doesn't have to
Yeah.
necessarily be in the same industry as them, but at least try to match their status,
Yeah.
and then not just sit around lah and lie
Yeah.
around, yeah, because
Yeah.
that the person above you should be your main motivation in actually sort of getting out in a rut so that you can actually better yourself and improve your status exactly what I'm trying to do lah. When I had the entrepreneurship course last year, when I did the introduction, I say okay, I have the podcast and the dropshipping store, but I do it mainly to value myself higher lah. Because if you compare people around our age group, I don't think not many okay, for starters, not many have podcasts like us. Yeah, not belittling them, but then this the reality. We managed to step out our comfort zone. We share our thoughts. That really sort of put us a notch higher already. And we're obviously for our case, we help other people lah by sharing our thoughts lah. Yeah,
The action.
yeah, so that's already valuing ourselves higher, and of course we want to go much higher than that lah. Yeah. You do have a nice shirt though, I must say.
Nice shirt.
Yeah,
Oh, thanks.
I've been observing it ever since.
I actually wore it for POP. Is it POP? No. It was when I came back from Nissan camp, and then we actually had a before UO was our CO, correct?
I thought it was CEO first then you.
CO first, yeah. It was our CO like celebration. We went to Orchard Towers.
Oh.
Yeah, I actually won this. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah.
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 What were your lessons
Okay,
learned
so-
from stress? What are your takeaways?
Okay. You wanna take turns with the the lessons learned until like we don't have any more. I mean, just to make things different, to just shuffle a bit.
You start first.
Okay, alright. So firstly, I actually mentioned this, but staying committed is such a big help with to stay stoic, to stay committed onto your role. focus
Mm.
focus on your goal. Don't let these things affect you.
Yeah.
Your be in the moment. Yeah. Yeah. So
My
yeah.
my lesson would be there's always gonna be light at the end of the tunnel. You just have to keep persevering with your journey.
Mm.
You may have some turbulence. You might deviate, but if you have an end goal in mind, then if you persevere, that's where the sort of the eustress come in, and then
Mm.
just don't give up lah. And I think also one key takeaway is if you do have stress, right, whether it's eustress or distress, right, it's best to talk to someone.
Yes.
Yeah, and share your thoughts, especially now the health promotion board, the HPB,
Yeah.
they emphasize so much on the
Mental.
stress, mental health advertisements, where you see like this girl, she goes through a lot of exam stress, and then she don't really know who to talk to, and then she talk to her mother, and then countless examples lah. So I guess the one of the better things to do is to talk to someone and see whether he or she can help you. Yeah, and not coop up your feelings. You know, it becomes a very distressing factor. Even though you know that this maybe this thing that you're gonna achieve is a positive one, but then if you're stuck in a rut, right, you just want someone to share your experience with, and sort of acknowledge you, then I guess your outcome will be better that way, if you share with someone. Yeah.
Yeah. I do think that that talking about it actually release some stress. Yeah. I actually having this podcast itself like removes somewhat of stresses that actually, I mean, it's not distress, it's actually eustress,
Yeah.
but it's like the unhealthy levels of eustress, and comes of distress, that kind of thing. But yeah.
I think that's our purpose. Our purpose, one of the purpose of creating this podcast is to actually also let out our feelings. Because really, I think I've mentioned before, all these thoughts that I have, even though as I mentioned just now, relates to eustress, something that is positive, but then it's cooped up in my mind. I want to tell someone, Yeah, so that's why I brought up the lesson on actually sharing with someone, even though you know this outcome is going to be positive one. But if you share with someone, if like you, for example, I share with you or you share with me, we both acknowledge it, we both share similar experiences, so to speak. That's quite enriching lah. Yeah. I think what you mentioned, it brings us to our last question of our self improvement. Do you think self help?
Oh wait, haven't yet. I still got quite. Yeah, was that like your only point of what you all your lessons learned?
Actually, yes, though, because I was trying to build up. Yeah.
Okay, because I got a few others as well. Because I was thinking of having one point to another, to your point, to my point, to your point, that kind of thing. But yeah, I got quite a few. So
but
yeah.
does it relate to self help or self improvement?
Yeah, I do think. Yeah. So another lesson that I've learned is to, you know how I'm always like hyped up and stuff, right? Like, yeah. So hype yourself up. I think that's a very good point that you should actually consider, because if you're gonna stay in a very monotonous like today is Monday again, like don't you feel very
depressing? Yeah.
moralized? What's the point of life? They're kind of like questioning, and self-talk as well. Like, okay, I think this relates to self-talk, but self-talk as well. Like, if you're gonna talk negatively, you're gonna stay negative. You're not gonna be, don't worry. I'm just saying this to let out my feelings and stuff. But whatever you give out, whatever energy that you give up, that's gonna be you.
Yeah.
Like if you're negative, you are negative. Like whatever you say, that's you.
I
You
agree.
get me? Imagine like looking at yourself in like I do this like often. I don't know if you consider as crazy, even to those viewers as well. I would actually look at the mirror and I reenact as if I'm a very depressed person versus a person who is filled with optimism. So I would look at that as like, wow, wow, you are damn useless. Alright? You're damn I would tell all these negative things about myself, like what you really messed up this time, okay? And that kind of stuff.
Damn.
And I would compare it to something that's optimistic. So I'll be like, hey, you got this, man. You got this. Like I'm looking at you and you
Yeah.
better do it. I tell you, I tell you, you cockies up. Wow. Yeah, beating for me, Walao. No, that type of beating, but the,
Yeah.
the beating,
This some David Goggins shit, yeah.
Really? Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, you got to be mental with you. If you wanna succeed, you have to be mentally like what's normal now, it's so mediocre. Like whatever you are seeing that's being called normal, mediocre. Be someone that who people would think as mediocre, but actually you're not. You're actually, it's a trial and error. If you know, and of course there's some like levels of limits, actually limits where you actually have to stop being that kind of person. But um you have to this you have to be crazy in order to be normal, in a sense, because once you are crazy, you gain some sense lah, basically some sense of understanding of yourself and your being. And um I do think that uh you need to, okay, going back to the self-talk, you do need to explore all of these to know what's ideal for you. Yeah. And okay, going to the worrying part, the about stress. So I actually learned about this in school. It's called understanding the self, like the subject. And there's this quote I actually relate to a lot, and it's the quote is, "What worries you becomes your master." So whatever you're worrying, whatever things that you are being consumed by, it becomes okay. I'm not saying manifest, but like you 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 put fear into a pedestal instead of excuse me, instead of putting all the positive side on the pedestal, like you place this first, like all the good things you place first. You place fear, which is a bad thing, is a negative thing. You put it in a pedestal. That's gonna consume all your time, effort, everything. It's gonna be your basically your god lah. Basically, if you are putting things into like a habit, like being negative all the time, or
Mm.
like worrying, you're basically, that's your god lah. You're actually so called uh you're worshipping the god of fear or something like
Yeah.
that. I mean, I'm not saying, in my religion there's no such thing as a god of fear or something. It will be
Mm.
called as a devil lah. Cause the devil just wants negative things for you. But yeah, that's the last point, I think, on the lessons of stress.
Wow.
Yes.
You're yet another passionate speech. Yeah, you're a mix of, Dre Drexler, the YouTuber, another
Yeah,
yeah, you're a mix
yeah.
of Dre Drexler and Hamza, yeah. But more towards Dre. I watched Dre. Actually, I prefer Dre to Hamza. Yeah, he's more
he's
cool, more stoic.
uh,
Someone more I
mm,
can relate to more.
mm.
Yeah,
Because I'm not a party guy as well, so I totally unlike Hamza, yeah, Hamza is very like very like before his life before is full of like full of life and like party
yeah,
and stuff. Then Dre is like very he kind of like went into his like spiritual mode with the relationship with him and his God, and
mm,
I mean him and his religion, yeah, and became more so-called in a sense. He's trying to push into traditional basically tradition, rather
traditional
than
values lah. Yeah,
being just masculine and
yeah,
sigma, that kind of
mm,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
I guess the points that you brought up, I think it relates to self-help. Which just nice. That's our last question. Does does self-help or self-improvement ultimately becomes stressful? Is there
Mm,
like a limit?
mm, I, I, I mean, I think of course there will be a limit. But I do think that even though I don't think you should really think about stress that much as what people have been telling you. Oh, you're clinically diagnosed with depression or something like that. Or like you know, and I just think that yeah, it's stressful to let's say for a clinically depressed person. Yeah, I guess it's hard. Okay, I'm not saying it's stressful, but it's definitely hard to like uh to go into self help because you're clinically depressed. But you do really need to set aside the you need to set aside the gravity of the word stress, and you will need to dive deeper rather than just it's like the sea saying this small portion of where you're just floating, that's called stress. Then the other things is all like the other, what do you call this,
Levels.
the deeper things, the,
Oh,
the deeper meanings of what's going on and stuff. Yeah, you need to go down that whole surface of stress, and find you need to act on it basically. And um although there are some limits to it, like for example, if you're getting too much onto self-help, and like you definitely need to talk to someone about it, and um you how- just basically act on it lah.
mm,
For the I'm not really too knowledgeable of all these like uh this depression thing and stuff, but going back to the topic of the question, which is the self-help makes you stressful. uh just like we've always mentioned, there's a reason to all these things. And if you're just going to dwell, if you're just gonna dwell on the existence of why stress exists, then you're not going to move any further. You're not going to move where you're at. You're not
mm.
going to you're not going to progress. You're just going to stay there. You're just going to decay. Let me ask you, do you actually want that? You want to be um do you want to be you want to be you want to be looked down as an individual who didn't actually try to actually strive? Or would you want to be seen as someone um who's actually respected by the things that he did, respected in a way where he has lived a full life? I mean, I'm not talking about live a full life like saying like, oh, you should be Andrew Tate, then I'll tell you that you have lived a full life. No, I'm saying that living a full life is you living up to your purpose, you living up to your role, to you ignoring the small little things and think about the big thing, the what's really important. Yeah, I think that's what you call the person who has lived a life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
and yeah,
the point that you mentioned, a lot of people are knowledgeable about self-help and self-improvement, but then they don't actually take action.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, I think that goes for many other aspects of life as well. For example, financial wise, like you read so many books, but then you don't act on the things like or buying stocks or something like that. Yeah, you are knowledge. Yeah, you're knowledgeable, but yet you're not taking action. So what's
Mm.
the point of you reading, right? And that's I guess that's what I have to say for uh this 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 question.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. My notion is that
Mm.
self-help sometimes can be a bit stressful,
Mm.
especially when to the point of you want to just relapse because you know
Mm.
that no one is watching.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
let's say for example, sometimes I feel like watching porn again. Then I know no one's watching ma, but then I'll be
yeah.
lying to myself ma. And it takes another whole another level to actually maintain your status of self improvement. And not lie and cheat to yourself. The other example would be I think I sometimes would come across as too rigid in my self improvement journey. Like I must have a very clean diet. I
Mm.
don't want to enjoy life because other people enjoy life. Then if I enjoy life means I'm not. I sidetrack of my journey. I maybe if my family eat like unhealthy snacks and all that, I choose not to join in because it will be quite detrimental to my physique. I mean,
Mm.
okay, obviously I don't eat lah, but then it's these little things that when they enjoy, right? But then I just sit out because I don't want any enjoyment. Because if I do that, then my self improvement journey will deviate and deviate to the point where it will like to a point of no return. Yeah, so
Okay,
so I
right.
feel like sometimes that's quite stressful. And
Mm.
sometimes reading books as well. I read every day,
Yeah.
but then sometimes I feel like it's such a like a drag. Like what shit. It feels like a chore. So I have to like spread out my reading uh my reading schedule lah. I don't read one shot. I just read maybe after breakfast read a bit, after lunch read a bit, after dinner read a bit. So it's more sustainable, and maybe change the genres of book that I'm reading. Not just all the time self improvement books, but fiction books as well to make it more enjoyable. I would say that's the stress that I'm actually feeling. The to keep up with it. Yeah,
Mm.
and again, it's good that it feels good telling you this lah and telling the viewers this lah because to you may think that self improvement actually has a lot of advantages, but then it can be also quite detrimental if you don't contain it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it may do more harm than good. Yeah, that's the last point. Yeah, do you have any closing remarks?
Honestly speaking, if you to the viewers watching, if you still want to do whatever you want to do, go ahead. Um, not that we don't care, but like from one screen to another, I will gladly tell you that uh, yeah, I don't want to scare you or anything, but you have failed your no. Okay, okay. Here, this is the platform for us to like encourage you, and we're doing this so that we could. I mean, not only encourage ourselves as well, but you know, um, would like to we would like to kind of like encourage you to take on a step, not just watching this blindly and like not acting on it, but take the first step, take do something that improves your. I mean, for those who don't do self improvement. Talking to those who are not doing any self improvement at all. But I mean, or small, or maybe like uh some self improvement. Yeah. But yeah, um, we would like to like encourage you for those who are trying who are interested in this whole self improvement journey. Um, I'd like to tell you that whatever like struggles you are facing, I would like tell you that you're doing amazing, and you you should actually just keep up with the good work. Um, we respect you for doing all these hard work, and even though I may not know you um like personally, like to the viewers, uh you are a man or woman of integrity and honor, and I respect that. I really deeply respect that. I respect those people who have that, and um and for you actually trying to actually do it, to actually stay consistent. um you have my you have my
Utmost
so
respect.
called yes, utmost respect from the both of us, right, Jones?
You summed it up
Yeah,
perfectly.
yeah,
I felt
and
that.
yeah, and actually we had this talk like towards like, I mean, do you remember during the time where you were in the bunk, and you actually would tell me like the nod that you would give me, like you're doing all the kind of shit.
Mm,
Yeah, we're doing that to you, so
yeah.
well done on you, well done.
I think you do it better than me. I do it with a smile. But yeah, well said. You perfectly summed it up. What I was gonna say. But I
Yeah,
guess this what you say leads to this. This is a Yam Sing moment.
yeah, I'm
Because you have
saying,
perfectly summed it up.
yeah. And happy advanced Chinese Happy New Year. Okay lah, maybe the next episode
Yeah, almost reaching
Oh,
the holiday mood already.
mm,
Yeah.
that's very good.
Alright.
Apparently Philippines don't have Chinese New Year, but 新年快乐，万事如意。
Wait, hang on. No, actually, wait, bro. I actually wanted you to say that. 万事如意. I somehow wanted you to say that. Like, can you try saying 万事如意? And then you said it, like almost near perfect. Like,
No,
bro, the
it's-
universe
yeah,
telepathy.
exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys for watching.
Mm.
If you got let us know your opinions and your thoughts on
Yes.
this episode or our previous episodes rather. We
And
we want to know what your opinions are, and continue subscribing. We've now got
11 subscribers. Thank you for the 1 subscriber. We,
Wow,
let's
and then
go.
the goal is what, 50, 100, 150? Let's go by
I
50s,
don't
man.
know. No, let's see.
Go big or go home.
Let-
Yeah.
Yes.
But yes, thank you
Don't
for
go home
watching.
lah. Continue.
Hmm?
Doesn't mean that if you don't reach your goal, you go home.
Yeah.
That coach should change
Mm.
Don't go big or do better.
Yeah. Go big or don't go home.
Go home
Don't go home.
Stay there. Stay there.
Yeah. Alright. So
Right.
bottles up. Caps off.
Hey, full bottle Last week never drink
Okay, I drink 2 cups. Hey bro, after this I gotta run, after I get stitched.
Okay, understandable.
Yeah.
So bottle up,
Okay, caps off.
caps off. Like, share, and subscribe, guys.
Yeah. Alright. Sam, life is
Right.
good.
So live it well. Cheers,
Cheers,
guys.
man.
See you guys in the next episode.